Welcome to Josh's Cemetery Chats. What's up, Bearheart Nation? How's it going out there? So as you can see by Fred's attire, we are officially out of spooky season and into the fall. So this hat was actually Mrs. Bearhart's idea. She got it for him the other day and she was like, Fred could wear this for Thanksgiving. Like, that's a great idea. So for the month of November, Fred is going to be dressed up like our Thanksgiving dinner.
A turkey.
So if you aren't aware, if you're not from the United States, November is a month that we celebrate Thanksgiving. It's the last Thursday of the month. It's kind of a big holiday. It used to be a lot bigger, but it's between Halloween and Christmas, and really Black Friday's kind of overtaken it in the past few years. So we've got that coming up. We're going to have conversations about Thanksgiving, about different things we're going to be planning for dinners and stuff like that. But on the subject of kind of Black Friday-ish, I wanted to talk a little bit today because the lottery, which is something that I normally pay zero attention to, but the Mega Millions is at what, 120 million?
I'm not real sure on that one. I didn't really pay attention.
Okay, the Mega Millions is somewhere up in the 100 million to 120 million range, but the Powerball is actually at 1.5 billion dollars. The last I checked, it might have gone up.
I was gonna say it probably went up.
Yeah, it might have gone up depending on whether or not more people have bought tickets, but when it starts to get that big, like, you start to really dream. And it's not that, I think it starts at like 40 million. And it's not that $40 million wouldn't be life-changing money. I would take $40 million.
I would too.
But $1.5 billion after taxes, you would walk away with about $750 million, which that's more money than I think just about anybody could ever spend in their entire lifetime. I
don't know. There are people that can spend.
Well, there are some people. If you're somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, you can lose that amount of money in a couple of hours by making one public statement. But we're not going to go there. So what I wanted to talk about today is, if you were to win the lottery, what would you do with the money? Especially with something that big. If it's the $750 million that you walk away with, what would you do? Let me know that down in the comments below. And then we're going to kind of get into what we would do, because we've been talking a lot about it. We've got some dreams. We bought a ticket for both drawings. We went out yesterday and bought tickets for both drawings. And so we've been kind of mulling over, like, what would we do if we won the lottery? So let me know down in the comments what you guys would do if you won the lottery. Before we get into the conversation, though, I do want to briefly mention the book that I'm working on, because if you notice, I didn't have a video last week, and a lot of that had to do with just kind of the end of spooky season. I wanted to take a week off and kind of relax a little bit coming into the fall, getting ready for Christmas and all that kind of stuff, because I've got a lot of cool things planned. But part of that last week was taking off to work on my book, and that's a project that's been ongoing. And I'm basically releasing it as a serial novel over on my website. It's a chapter a week. Every single Monday I'm releasing a brand new chapter. It's usually really early on Monday morning, so people have all day or all week to read it. But it's something that I'm trying to get more interest and get more circulation around, just because I'm really proud of what I've done with it so far. If you're not familiar with novels and books and that kind of stuff, the word count's a huge thing, and it's something that seems really intimidating. You probably don't pay much attention when you read a book at how many words are in it. Typically, you're looking at 60 to 80,000 words or 100,000 words in most novels. And so I just crossed the 25,000 word mark in mine. And that was a big deal to me, because I thought to myself, like, oh my God, there's no way I'll ever get up there. But I digress. So it's something I'm working on, something I'm proud of. I want to get the word out there. If you like mystery type of things, if you like weekly TV dramas, it's not like a TV drama, but the idea is there of a weekly release. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, I'll put the synopsis down in the description below. Go check it out. The first 3 chapters are available for free, and if you like those, you can sign up. And if you buy it, if you buy the serialized form, when the ebook comes out early next year, you'll get a free copy of the ebook, and you'll get a discount when it comes to the physical copy too. So go check that out. There's a lot over there. It's on the website. I'll link it all down below. But with all of that, let's go ahead and just jump into this real quick and talk about what we would do if we won the lottery. So what's the first thing you would do if we won the lottery?
I would buy a house, and then after a couple of months, I would quit my job.
after a couple of months.
Yeah, so people wouldn't know. It's like a transition.
They wouldn't know. You'd think they'd figure it out when you told them you bought a house.
Well, I wouldn't tell them I bought a house.
Oh, you just kind of suddenly disappear?
Yeah.
See, I'd like to pay off all, we've got some bills. So obviously it'd be nice to pay that stuff off. Car and a couple other things. And then, yeah, buying a house would be great. But I want to custom build a house.
Well, yeah, on some land, and then we can do the Halloween thing we discussed.
Yeah, so here's my grand goal. Because we've been talking about some ideas for, like, if we were to have that, just the freedom to do whatever we wanted with the house, because we buy land, custom build a house. I think you like the Gothic style, or not Gothic style. You
the
like
old-fashioned.
The old-fashioned,
houses.
like the castle looking. We both kind of like that. The 1800s, 19th century type of houses. So we probably design it with that kind of style in mind.
Right.
Tons of room to film in. Everybody has their own room, all that good stuff. But then the big thing.
He's gonna make it.
I'm waiting for Fred to fall over.
No, he's gonna make it.
But the big thing that I'm focused on is I would legitimately build my own cemetery. Because as much as I love coming out here to these cemeteries to do these cemetery chats, it would be so convenient to have my own cemetery to do these in.
But I would be even more better if you did that was to put your followers on tombstones.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I would do with it. That would be a lot of fun too. Is I think I would put a for the $3 tier on Patreon, because why not? I would basically take and etch everybody's names into the headstones in the cemetery. How cool would that be? Like, if I could set up...
That would be awesome.
And put the Patreon members' names on the tombstones. I think there's a few people out there that would probably enjoy something like that, especially if I put, like, the dates.
Right.
But I would do it with legitimate, like, I would get granite stones made. I would just do it up as much as possible. And I would love it, mostly because I really don't like the idea of coming out and filming at night in cemeteries. Mainly because, one, you never know who you're going to run into. But also, in most cemeteries in Ohio, at least, most communities, not all, but most communities have laws around being out in the cemetery after dark. And you can get arrested or fined for being out there. Not that it will always happen, but it's just something that it's not a good idea.
I thought you were going to say because of ghosts.
I'm not afraid of ghosts. I've been in plenty of cemeteries. I'll go out to cemeteries at night, but this whole setup and then the lights and everything I would need, it wouldn't be a good idea. It would be my luck the first time a cop would pull up and be like, "Sir, you look like you're a little crazy. We're going to take you downtown." And I ain't having any of that. So it would be nice to be able to film in my own cemetery at night and with fog, because I've got this fog machine that I've had for a year now that I haven't been able to use properly. It's really been frustrating. I used it for one of the episodes of The Reaper last year, which the fog on that came out really cool.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, I haven't got the chance to use it the way that I initially wanted to. And a lot of that has to do with just the days that I get out to film are usually kind of like this, where it's just really breezy. And if I could set up at night when the wind has usually died down and be able to let just fog kind of roll across, that would be so awesome. And not to mention, with that kind of money, I could get several high-end fog machines, and I'd never have to worry about fog again. No amount of wind would stop my fog at that point. So that's something that I would love to do. That's like kind of my dream, aside from like the house and that kind of stuff. But also, we talked about I wanted to buy a hearse. And I know you like to tell the story about me at the dentist last year. I went to the dentist. I don't do well with dentists. And they gave me a sedative for each of my visits. I had a bunch of work that needed to get done. And I was on the sedative.
Yeah.
And we went to the dentist. I don't remember any of this.
We seen a hearse and it had characters on it, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so going to get one of those." And everyone was watching.
Yeah. See, the beautiful part is I don't remember any of this. But it sounds like something that I would say, because I have wanted to own a hearse. I just think that would be so cool. That and an RV, because I'd love to travel the country and do cemetery chats from different states, as well as cover on location legends and tales in different states, something that like I'm not going to be able to do in the short term. I would love to have that kind of money, to have access to those resources. And they say money doesn't buy happiness. I'd love to try though. I mean, we've got kids. We've been married for almost 20 years now. I've got all the stuff that makes me happy. But that much money to be able to do whatever I wanted to do and not have to worry about...
I also wanted to get a garden, but I'm not good with plants. They die all the time.
We could hire a gardener.
That's no fun.
Well, that's the one thing about traveling, is we wouldn't be able to have a garden if we were traveling. So we wouldn't be able to maintain it. Although we could have it for a couple of years, get the kids out of the house, and then we'll travel. I don't think the kids would appreciate that very much. Like, you guys never took us anywhere. You had the money.
We took them cross country.
We did do that. But so a hearse, an RV, be a couple. Like a lot of people, usually what I hear from people when they say, "Oh, if I won the lottery," they buy like high-end sports cars, and they'd want like a Spider, a McLaren.
I would get a van though, so you can put all your stuff in it.
Well, yeah, I'd like to have a big van to travel with gear and stuff like that. That would be nice, because right now, we've got the SUV. We've got a couple SUVs that have space in them, but just not quite enough space sometimes. Yeah. So that would be nice. I think. Other than that, like, I don't have any dreams of high-end vehicles. I don't have any dreams of, like, I don't want a mansion that's so big that like you get lost in it.
Yeah, no, I don't want that either.
A nice size home where we have room to kind of breathe and move around, and because we've been in smaller homes for the most part for the past 10 years.
Right.
Like the last time we were in a pretty decent sized home when we were down in Texas, but other than that, like, it would just be nice to have one of those real big open floor plans, but not like a mansion. I don't want anything so big that we'd get lost in it. I'm not trying to be. There's YouTubers that make it big and become millionaires, and then they go out and rent or buy mansions, depending on who you talk to. And they try to flaunt their wealth and all that kind of stuff. I would not do that kind of thing. But I would love to have the resources to film that kind of stuff.
Right.
And have my own studio and have because there's so many things that I would love to do that I just don't have the space to do. And it's funny that that's like where my mind goes with it. I mean, vacations obviously would be fun.
Yes.
But we've traveled a little bit. We've had our fair share of vacations. At this point in life, I think it was different 20 years ago. Or when we were first together, when we first had Taylor and all that kind of stuff, we had different priorities back then. But things have changed so much over time that like we're much simpler now. I would literally, and I mean, I would probably at that point, I could probably pull a Mr. Beast and just start handing money out to people on the streets and becoming famous doing those kind of videos. Or I could do a giveaway to subscribers every month or something like that. Like, that would be a lot of fun. Just give away money to random people.
Right.
$750 million, that could last a long. I could give away $100,000 a week for a year and still have money. Like, that's how much money that is.
That'd be nice.
Right? But other than that, other than the house and cars and vacations and stuff like that, is there anything else you can think of? You want to build a rocket and go to space like Elon Musk?
No, I don't like that man. I would help family members out.
I would love to do that. There's family members that I would love to help out in one way or another. I don't know how many of them. I don't want family members crawling out of the woodwork, because that would be. I'm a cousin that you haven't talked to in 30 years. Like, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I would help out there would be some family I would help out under the table. I don't want anybody to know about it.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, like, I don't have anything else that I really would desire to spend that money on.
Just never have to worry about anything.
Yeah, never have to worry about. Like, imagine how awesome that would be to never have to worry about anything ever again when it comes to money. I think a lot of the time, people who win the lottery, they blow it. If you hear stories about lottery winners, most of the time, somebody wins the lottery and they wind up going out and they're buying, mansions, they're buying expensive cars, they wind up getting into drugs and throwing major parties, and they have friends crawling out of the woodwork left and right. And I don't know how many stories we've seen of lottery winners that have gotten murdered for their money, or they killed themselves after a certain, they run out, they've gone through millions of dollars in a short period of time, and they kill themselves. Like, I understand why people would do that, but on the other hand, like, I can't understand. You have everything you could ever want.
Well, I did read a story once. The guy that did win the lottery, he says the worst mistake of his life because people always asked him for it.
Well, yeah, because that's what happens when people find out you have money.
And it drove him crazy.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, is like, because I think for most of us are in a situation where we don't have a lot of people that really want much to do with. We have some friends and stuff, but like, for the most part, I don't have people knocking on my door constantly trying to get my attention, or, people for the most part don't really care about each other too much unless they think they can get something from the other person. And you've got friends and stuff like that aren't that way, but when it comes down to it, most of the people that you know in your life, I mean, think about the number of people that you know. Now think about how many people are close to you, and how many of those people that aren't close to you that would come running as soon as they heard you had money, saying, "Oh, could you help me out with this? Could you help me out with that? I've got a business proposal. Could you invest?" Like, unfortunately, that's a thing.
Fred's raising his arm.
Is he one of those people that would come after me for money?
Fred would do it.
Fred would be like, "Give me some money." But
I need some meat on my bones.
Right? But that's the thing. Most people would come running because they hear you have money, and all of a sudden, they're your best friend ever. They always believed in you. It's the kind of thing that I can kind of understand the feeling that people would get, because I understand that, being a small YouTuber and working on the book that I'm working on and all that kind of stuff. I'm in that position where if my channel were to ever blow up, winning the lottery aside, if I were to ever blow up and get 1 million subscribers and start making some money on this whole endeavor, I guarantee you there would be people that I hadn't spoken to in years that would be finding me and coming at me saying, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And that's when I would be like, "Nope, I'm not doing it." I have started, as I've gotten older, I've started kind of cutting a lot of those people out of my life that aren't there, that aren't supportive, because realistically life is just too short to include those kind of people. It doesn't do any good. All it does is harm you. And if you win the lottery, people are going to be coming out of the woodwork.
I still can't believe that Taylor said she doesn't want a car.
Yeah, my oldest, our oldest daughter, she's 16, and she has her permit. She's been trying to kind of get her license. She hasn't driven quite as much as she should. But we asked her, like, "Do you want a car?" She said no. Like, really? What 16-year-old wouldn't want a car?
That one. She doesn't like to drive. She said it scares her.
I'd be willing to bet. Come over here. So I'll be willing to bet, and this is just kind of going off the cuff here. This is our son, the youngest of our children. He's not old enough to drive yet, but if I won the lottery, would you want a car?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of car?
No.
But you just want a car?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? So if a 12-year-old can win a car, a 16-year-old not wanting a car is just weird. All right. He decided to come out with us for the first time ever. He never goes anywhere. He's like, "I want to go with you." I'm like, "Okay." So
he likes video games.
Yeah, he's always sitting home playing video games. He's playing, what, Fortnite? Fortnite and Minecraft and Hitman. All the games that when I was his age I wish I would have had. But do you have anything else as far as you can think of for lottery winnings?
I don't think so. Maybe a new wardrobe.
A new wardrobe. All brand new clothes. A year's worth, so I can have a different outfit every day.
Well, maybe some equipment too, because I like to lose some weight.
We can have a home gym. Have a home gym to work out. That would be nice. But that would be part of the house.
Yeah, wow.
I would have a home gym and a pool. I would love to have an indoor and an outdoor pool.
What about a hot tub?
And a hot tub. A hot tub would be nice. So the house wouldn't be a mansion, but it would have some really nice amenities. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm talking 5G coverage everywhere, indoor outdoor pool, a home gym, a sauna, hot tub. You know, you gotta have the essentials, right?
Not a movie theater. No, I don't want one of those.
Yeah, I don't know. Movie theater's not really my thing either.
Well, at least we don't have to buy a swing set. We don't have any little kids now.
Unless we have grandkids.
And they're going to stay home.
Sorry, grandkids, you can't come over. We're too busy hanging out in the hot tub. That would be so cruel.
Or they can come over and we will spoil them and give them candy and then take them back.
Yeah, we give them all kinds of sugar and then send them back to their parents' house. Because that's what you do when you have grandkids. You spoil the hell out of them to get back at your kids for all the stuff they did to you.
Josh was like, I ain't having any.
But I think this video is getting a little bit long. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the lottery since it's in the news and it's a big deal. And we'll see if anybody wins it. This video, I'm planning on making this video live on Wednesday. And it'll be like the day after the next drawing, or there's a couple of drawings between now and then. So we'll see if anybody wins between now and then. If they don't, maybe that'll be a lot higher. And if somebody wins from Ohio, and I don't make a video for a few weeks, you might know why. But I will be back. It'll just be after I recover from the shock of winning $1.5 billion. With all that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. Go check out the journal. It's linked down below. I'll list the patrons up here. I'll probably have them up for a second or two. I don't know. I try to put them in every single video. But if you want to join the Patreon, it's $3 a month. You get your name in the video, early access. There's other tiers with other perks on there, so go check that out. If that's something you're interested in. It includes a few different things, including with the website. So there's a couple of different ways you can, if you want to support the channel. It's all listed down in the description, so go check that out. But I want to thank you all for watching. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.